friends, this is Pooja Solanki and today I'm in the most vibrant city of the vibrant state. Yes, you guessed it right, I'm in Ahmedabad and today here I'll be discussing with Mr. Manan Choksi of Remax about the real estate bill and its impact on the real estate industry. Now without wasting a minute, let's meet up with Mr. Choksi. Hello and welcome to Expert Advice. Real estate bill has finally gotten cabinet's approval. But what impact it shall have on the real estate industry, we'll tell you today. To discuss the same, I have with me Mr. Manan Choksi, who is the Regional Director of Remax, which is world's largest property broking company. Before we take this conversation further, let us first welcome our very special guest of the day. Hello and welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you.
So first of all, as we all know that real estate bill has finally been approved by the cabinet. So the major question comes into the picture, what impact it shall have on the real estate industry?
Real estate industry is plagued with mistrust, with a lot of problems. So this bill is focused on how to resolve the problem, increase the trust, and how investors will get security of their investment. This bill aims to solve all these problems.
Now, the second major question is that builders, there might be certain questions coming up in their mind. Will it be for their security or safety, or it might, thwart their construction process? So my question to you is what impact it will have on builders and developers?
So we see that wherever there is a regulation in any industry, small time builders are getting affected. Big builders will be benefited from this. So if you take big builders like case of Hiranandani or DLF or HN Safal in Ahmedabad, these are big builders who are going to get benefit out of it, and the small builders will have to, the cost of construction will increase because of compliance to the regulations which are mentioned in the bill.
Okay. Now tell me about the investors. What is in store for investors regarding the real estate bill?
The biggest benefit for the investor is it reduces the risk. So when you invest in a project which is just land as of now, and there is no construction either below the ground or above the ground, the biggest risk they have that the project may never take off because of municipal permission. So this bill provides that a builder cannot take the booking unless and until there are all requisite permissions are taken by the builder and they are obtained, and whichever money they have accepted of the project has to be deposited in a separate bank account. This bank account proceeds have to go directly in that project itself. It cannot be utilized in any other projects. So this gives a lot of safety to the investors of their money, and this gives a definite timeline of the project getting complete. So this bill is going to change the landscape of the real estate industry by giving a lot of assurance to the investors.
Okay. Moving on to the next question, what is in store for end users?
End users in the industry suffer a lot of confusion as to carpet area, as to super built up area, as to common area allocation, and like amenities like basic amenities like parking. Say some projects have gym. Technically the end user pays for the gym and everything associated in the project, but they are not aware. So this bill aims that to clarify that all the sales are done on carpet area. This helps to compare two projects side by side. Right now the end user does not know actually carpet area that he gets between two projects unless he goes there and measures it. So this bill will mandate that each project is sold on carpet area, which is very good for end users.
Okay. So is there any provision for brokers?
Yeah, so brokers are a big chunk of the real estate sector, but they are ignored. Apart from service tax, there is no regulation on real estate brokers. However, this regulation, they are going to get a license, and each broker is going to get a unique number which will be quoted while the booking is made. When this number is quoted, the broker is as much as liable for the construction and the implementation of the project as much as the builder is. So it is good that if he shares commission, if he earns out of the project, as like the builder, he also is liable for it. So now as an end user, if you go through a broker, you are benefited that you make two parties liable, the builder and the broker, for the delivery of your apartment. This brings an unregulated sector like real estate broker into the ambit of law, and that will bring a lot of trustworthiness amongst brokers also.
Sir, is there any provision for property transactions in case of resale?
So resale property as of now is not covered in this act. This act is purely talking about new sale and taking of deposit for new projects. In developed economies, resale constitutes a major part of the economy. So eventually, when this act gets developed, when few years pass on, resale properties will be brought under this scheme. However, right now there is no coverage.
So, sir, my next question to you will be, property prices are something which are much talked about when, people are going to buy houses because, they are just escalating by the day. So, what effect shall real estate bill have on the property prices?
Property prices are a very typical product of inflation and demand. So we have seen in economies like India, where population is growing at the rate of 2.5% per year, and there is rapid urbanization, the demand is continuously increasing in city areas like Bombay, like Ahmedabad, like Pune, Surat. Surat is one of the fastest growing cities. This impacts the prices negatively, like it increases the prices. This bill aims not to decrease the price. There is no provision in this bill which will reduce the price. However, what will happen is that people will get assurance of delivery, people will know what they are paying for. So when we have a regulation, say maybe this regulator will be as compared to SEBI, or when we have a regulator like TRAI, everywhere the prices have reduced indirectly, not by any compulsion by the regulator, but because of fair play, because of transparency in the market. The brokerage deal earlier in stock broking was ranging to 2%. Right now it has come down drastically in stock market. In real estate market also we will see when the prices are right now coming to I would say it's been stabilized right now, but it may not go down, but maybe the increase will be reasonable according to the India's inflation. So I would say that property prices will be affected. The increase of the property prices will be more affected. And while the per square feet cost will increase, but it will be on carpet area, not on the super built up area.
It's time for a short break. The discussion on real estate bill will continue after the break. What kind of projects will be seen after this regulatory bill is passed?
Projects, as of now, India requires a very well developed projects. Effect of this bill would be that big projects will be more and small projects will be less. It has to be a project which has a lot of residential units.
Welcome back to Expert Advice. Today's topic of discussion is real estate bill and its impact on the real estate industry. We are discussing this with Mr. Manan Choksi of Remax. Let's take this conversation further with him. What kind of projects will be seen after this regulatory bill is passed?
Projects, as of now, India requires a very well developed projects. Earlier we were looking at just basic amenities. Now we have moved on, and a normal scheme today has a garden, has a play area for children, has gymnasium. So as we go further in coming years, we'll see projects which are very good, as in the common areas are there. However, an inadvertent effect of this bill would be that big projects will be more and small projects will be less. Like I said, single scheme builders who have only one scheme running at a time are affected. So builders who have a group of buildings in one area or a township, or I would say even a big building with a lot of stories, but it has to be a project which has a lot of residential units. This requires permission to be taken only once, and the whole building can be constructed stage wise. So what I envisage that in coming years we will have bigger projects, not smaller ones. We'll have bigger societies, not smaller ones. We'll have malls, multiplexes, we'll have office premises, just as we used to be, but they will have a stronger, bigger footprint. So such kind of projects are going to be prevalent in coming years.
So since you're talking about the big short projects, something which comes to my mind is integrated townships and smart cities. So in relation with integrated townships, or for that matter smart cities, Could you tell us about the real estate bill?
Yes, this smart cities are a concept for India which is floated by the present Prime Minister, and because India has a rapid urbanization coming as we see the GDP rising, we need lot of cities. Cities like Bombay, cities like Delhi are already saturated. We do not have space for more people to be accommodated in the same cities. So we need to develop separate cities which are smart cities, which are designed to address to the new challenges faced by the city, like public transport, like common garbage disposal, like sewage, like fresh water, like electricity. These are basic needs of a city which were not there when Bombay was founded, or when Ahmedabad was founded 600 years ago. There was no electricity. Today it has become a necessity. There are a lot of overhead wires going on which are unsafe for the stormwater drainage. This was still, as of now, Ahmedabad does not have that. So what this bill is going to do is the properties which are developing in these cities which are saturated, they are going to regulate that. And smart cities are not directly covered as a separate item in this bill, but they are part of the whole concept of being a real estate space which is meeting to the requirements of the new end user. So we are going to see a lot of urbanization in coming years. We are going to see a lot of improvement in the quality of life of families, a middle class family, and this bill is going to help bring in a lot of capital which is lying idle in a person's bank account. They will be ready to invest in a new residential premises, and eventually that is going to spur investments. Foreign direct investment is going to come, and hence India will be developed country.
Definitely, we also wish the same. Now, moving further, we all have heard of malpractices being followed in the real estate industry. So, how real estate bill will help curb that?
Malpractices there are three kinds of malpractices. First of all, we see people do not have a permission to start taking booking for the property. Another is they don't even own the piece of land. And third malpractices, which is prevalent almost everywhere in projects, is that the builders change the offering. They change the measurement, they change the layout, they change the amenity, they remove the parking spaces, they increase the charges. We have seen people go back on their oral commitments. So this bill says that everything has to be in writing, everything has to have a permission. Unless and until you have a permission to build, you cannot take the booking. You need the land in your name, then only you can start the booking. You need to deposit the money in a bank account, then only you can use that money in the same project. So these kind of things will stop the malpractices. However, there are certain things which we have to live with. Like we have to live with the cash and the cash and the check ratio. This is something which is not covered as of now in the bill. But sooner or later it will be, because whenever a big company is investing, they accept the booking in white. And like cities like Bangalore and cities like Ahmedabad, there are few builders which have 100% white. So when you have everything in white, the commitments are written on a piece of paper, both parties sign on that piece of paper, so there is no malpractice. So government is slowly and steadily moving towards a reliable, trustworthy real estate sector in which things are transparent and things don't change unless otherwise required by force of God. Otherwise, by law and by permissions, everything will be clear.
There's a lot to be discussed and said on the real estate bill. So stay tuned with us. We'll continue this conversation in the next episode.